And there's a team that has three big names, and that's about it. That would be your Los Angeles Lakers. Got LeBron last night. He put up some numbers. I see you called him Stat Bromford. All right. So he put up some numbers. Anthony Davis was out there. Westbrook was out there. And then Westbrook after said, yeah, I got hurt because that one preseason game, they brought me off the bench. And, you know, I'm not used to coming off the bench, and it threw off my routine. I've been doing the same thing for 14 years. They brought me off the bench for one game in the preseason, and that's why I got hurt. And this is game one. This is game one. So the Lakers, nothing has changed. Anthony Davis is healthy. LeBron still strong as ever. Westbrook still as flawed as ever, but energetic. And they're just not good enough. I mean, tell me something you see from the Lakers that might encourage a Lakers fan, Vinny.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you, we're going to play a little trivia here. You ready for some trivia?
Right.
I'm going to give you a quote, and I want you to tell me who said the quote. Are you ready?
Okay. I'm ready.
I don't know any MVP comes off the bench. I don't know any scoring champ that comes off the bench. Why me? Why insert name here?
Ooh.
Why do I
Ooh.
have to come off the bench? Who said that, Michael Holley?
Oh, and he shouldn't have. That guy right there said it. He shouldn't have. Russell Westbrook.
Wrong. It was
he didn't
not
say
Russell
that?
Westbrook. It was
Who was
Allen Iverson who said that.
Oh,
and
okay.
that, my friends, is what this could actually start to look like. When Allen Iverson lost one step, he lost two. And because of his size and because of all those other, athletic attributes, when you lose one, you lose two. And I feel like Russell Westbrook probably has been there a little bit longer than we are willing to admit. And this is not an indictment of how he played last night. I thought how he played last night, to be perfectly honest, wasn't so bad given the circumstances, given where he is. And I wrote it. It's just that his mistakes and his bad plays are so loud. When he shoots threes, when you airball a three, or you try to zip a pass to a guy that's 2 inches away from you and it leads to a fast break on the other end, it just feels like it's more than what it is. And because Allen Iverson was so hesitant to adjust his game, to adjust where he was in his career after so many sterling years, after leading the league in scoring, after winning an MVP and everything else, after playing his way for so long and he couldn't adjust, he wound up being out of the league. Now tell me this, can you imagine Russell Westbrook being on the next episode of who he played for? Because I can.
Well, if you talk about Iverson, and that's a great point, Iverson, because I could hear Westbrook saying that, but it was an Iverson quote. Makes a lot of sense. Iverson didn't adjust. If Westbrook were to adjust, tell me what that looks like. If he's supposed to adjust, is it adjusting to life on the bench, or is it the way he plays? Would it be off the ball?
I don't think he can change.
What would it be?
I don't think he can change. And I'm not saying it from a standpoint of a lack of a willingness, but early in his career when he was playing with Harden, he was playing with Durant, very, very early, he was a better cutter. He was a spacer in that way, where he could cut off the ball and you could wind up finding him underneath the rim, and that way that could sort of alleviate the fact that he's not a shooter. Usually guys at this stage, I think this is, maybe year 14 for him, you're not going to become a better shooter this late in your career as you start to lose your legs. Usually you develop that year 8, 9, and then you develop into a better shooter. You're not just going to turn into that. And because his game is so reliant on being athletically dynamic, and he said it, he said it when referencing the hamstring injury, and this part was true. I get out there, my body has to get warm, and I'm out there and I'm cutting and everything else. He's absolutely right about it's kind of like chicken and egg sort of thing, except you're diagnosing it the wrong way. He's right about the hamstring. He's wrong maybe about not looking further back and saying, maybe I should diversify my game before I got old, before, I wound up having all these miles on my body. I'm still so dedicated to being Mr. Triple Double and Mr. Box Score that I'm not worried about becoming a better basketball player, and it's come back to haunt him. And there's little to nothing that he can do, in my opinion, with the roster the way it is. It's going to look bad, Michael, because the Lakers roster deficiencies are so bad. And because LeBron and AD can put up stats, you're not going to put the blame on Austin Reeves. You're not going to put the blame on Wenyen Gabriel or Pat Bev. You're going to put the blame on Russ because he's an easy target. But just because he deserves some of it, don't mean he deserves none of it. And just because you defend him, don't mean that you're right.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.